I'm going to put the handles on this casserole dish in a minute, and I extrude my handles. We had a farmer friend that we knew fairly well, and he was a farmer slash metal worker. He made our extruder, and I designed the dies. The chances of you having an extruder die like mine are extremely thin. I'm going to show you how to throw a ribbon handle, and you don't have to have a farmer friend. We can have a farmer friend, but he doesn't have to be, anyway. Never mind. So I've got this little piece of clay centered here. I'm just going to open it up. It doesn't matter how far you go down because you're only going to be throwing the wall, and the wall of the piece is all that matters. You don't have to throw a big piece because you only want your handle to be about 4 or 5 inches long. So you don't have to throw a huge bowl because you're only going to be taking a section about this long for each handle. You have to make sure that these things don't get too thin. As the clay teacher with the kids, I always say as thick as your finger. That's a pretty good place to go with this as well. Now I just have like a little straight up and down lasagna dish type guy. I'm going to stick my fingers in it just to make a design. The designs are purely aesthetic and up to you how you make 1 finger mark, 2 finger marks, 3 finger marks, no finger marks. I'm going to, with this, I'll make another one just so it'll end. And with these sculpting sticks, these are one of my favorite sticks. They just are your regular little stick you buy. I like this to be thinner and that to be pointed. They all come in different shapes and sizes. That's my preference. I'm going to just stick that in there and lay it down. With my needle, oh, I didn't make it tidy. Before I take it off and use my needle, I'm going to make it tidy. And then cut all the way through again. Notice I'm always connected with whatever I'm doing. And I'm going to cut this down this way. I just did a straight cut down that way. And now I can just lift it up and gently lay it beside the other one. So if you don't have the fancy farmer friend dies, you can make your own handles. Another method, if you don't like the ribbon handles and you're allowed to like what you like, is I often will throw, I used to use this all the time, well, to tell you the truth, until I got the extruder and I don't have to make handles. Just gonna make a little bowl off the hump, and this bowl, after it's made, I'm just going to throw it again. As I mentioned in the ribbon handle, this is a handle, it's not a bowl to be used. You want it to be probably as thick as your finger. Gonna give it a little bit of presence. Again, my handle wants to come up and say, I'm done, I'm a handle. And this little guy here, what you can do is you can take it off the wheel, and when you take it off, you can just tidy it again with the same stick that I used for the ribbon handle. So you can almost trim the entire thing by running it down the side. And now I can just undercut it with my wire. When you first start working off the hump, people are nervous to take it off this way. Nothing will happen to you if you do, but if you don't want to touch your pot, you can take off another piece. But again, that's a lot of clay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use this handle, but when it's leather hard, you can cut it in half, and you can see you can make casserole handles. Quickly grab it over here. You can make casserole handles this way, which is when it's made tidy and is a nice little way to make a handle. And some people prefer the rounded part of that because it kind of goes with the round knob. Again, this is all your own aesthetic. There's no wrong way. As long as it's thick enough, as thick as your finger, and you like it, it's a good handle. But I don't like those. Anyway, that's another idea for a handle. I'll show you a couple more, and eventually I'll put handles on that one. The last option I'm going to show you is how to pull a handle. I'm going to build the casserole the way I like and use my extruded ones, but you can pull a handle, and pulling handles is just it's a firmness. And when you're pulling handles for a casserole, again, this is going to hold a lot of weight. You want it thick enough. I still go with thick as a finger. You can make it as wide as you want. You can drop your thumb in there. You don't want your casserole handle to be that long. I like to, when I'm pulling handles, I'm going to need 2 handles, but I always pull 3, and you could put that on there nicely. You can put a nice handle on there that way. You can do different shapes with it. You can cut it off where it's the same thickness all the way through, and a pulled handle can be nice. Again, this is your casserole, your dish, your way. I'm going to erase all the messy other handle marks I made on there and put my extruded handles on.